It's finally here, the first wave of Force Awakens figures, and here at G1 Toys, we are going broke so that you, the viewer, can benefit from our losses. With that being said, what a spectacle we saw on Force Friday when the stores unleashed the first wave of toys that could potentially be part of the largest grossing movie of all time. December 18th is right around the corner, and we hope to bring you a complete Wave 2 review as well before the movie is released, so stay tuned for that. Now, let's get into some background surrounding these characters. So let's get started. The name's Finn, and he's in charge now. Played by John Boyega, Finn served as a stormtrooper 30 years after the Battle of Endor and wields a blue lightsaber rumored to belong to Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker. Finn is supposedly a trained warrior, but there's not much detail about any of these characters yet because of the shroud that Abrams has over the film. Let us move on to Daisy Ridley's character, whose name is Rey. She appears to be a scavenger on the planet Jakku. She has dealt with harsh realities and cutthroats this planet has to offer. She can be found racing through the deserts on the planet, on her speeder, and apparently has business ties with Constable Zuvio. We will now shift our focus to the already famous BB-8 droid. Meet this adorable and destined to be comic relief of the new Star Wars film. As R2-D2 was famed as George Lucas's favorite character, BB-8 has potential to hold Abrams' heart, being one of the first characters he had named and not changed throughout production of the film. The droid belongs to Resistance pilot Poe Dameron and can fit into the new T-70 X-Wing. The beloved Chewbacca is back, looking younger than ever. He actually looks better here than he does 30 years prior. Is it just me, or does he look like he needs a grooming? There's a storm a-brewing, and these troopers cast a new shadow for the Empire. They are here to enforce Kylo Ren's plans for his Empire, and we are going to see a wide variety of these warriors, including flame troopers, snow troopers, heavy artillery, and First Order riot stormtroopers. It's a great time to be a trooper. Last but not least, we have Kylo Ren, who by all rights paved his own path and constructed his own lightsaber that differed from the standard design. He is a member of the Knights of Ren and claims he is immune to the light. Looking vaguely familiar to the most notorious villain, Darth Vader, he takes it upon himself to crush the Resistance and utilize his First Order to do so. Sith or Renegade? We will have to find out, as his origin will be revealed to us as if we were the eager Jedis that crave to know our enemy. Hey, we're back, and the hype for this movie has just been increasingly growing for me as I look at these figures, as I look at all the merchandising coming out. It really is doing the job that it needs to do, and that is getting me hooked to see this movie. This is going to be great, guys. So let's go ahead and look at some of the box details for these Black Series figures. Now, this says Star Wars, the Black Series right here at the top, and I love the fact that they got this red background. It's a very nice contrast. This being my favorite figure of the wave, I've decided to use him as a demo for you on the box detail. Nice pictures of the figures, of the characters right there with the Hasbro logo. First Order Stormtrooper here in red with a different language underneath. And then on the side you have a number 4 First Order Stormtrooper right there, and each one has a different number in succession there. On the back you have a little story about the First Order Stormtroopers. If you want to pause that, you can. There's a nice subtle picture of a Stormtrooper right there with the red 4. I love the black and red contrast. It looks very nice on this. You have the Disney logo, of course, with your Hasbro logo as well. Nothing going on really on the bottom. On the side you get a little bit of a see-through package there, and it does say First Order Stormtrooper. When it actually has some letters right here, you can barely see them faintly in gray there, but it does say Stormtrooper across there. That's really cool to you guys. So this box has been a monument to the Star Wars Black Series. I think the box detail has been fantastic so far. I really do like it. So let's go ahead and crack these guys open, get into the Star Wars goodies that we have today, and we will show you their articulation and sculpts. Now, in order to save you guys some time, we're going to do a quick rundown on these new figures. We're going to take this in sections and start with the bad guys first. That is Kylo Ren here in the middle and his First Order Stormtroopers you see here on the side. Very cool set, guys. I'm really digging these figures. Totally awesome. They do compare with the old Stormtrooper a little bit as well. I'm going to bring him in right now to show you that. If I bring in the old Stormtrooper, he's right there. There's some subtle differences here, but they're big differences in a way. The Black Series old Stormtrooper comes in at about 6 inches, whereas these ones come in at about the same size. The differences between the figures, I'll bring them up a little closer for you so you can see that. As you can see, the helmets definitely are different now. I kind of like that new look a little better even. Instead of the 2 vents at the bottom there for the old Stormtrooper, you get the 1 vent on this side. You know, lots of stuff going on differently with the construction of the helmet. This old Stormtrooper has some cleavage going on, but this one has none, which is maybe a little bit better, I think, in my opinion. The old Stormtrooper does have some black right there on his belly area. I did like the paint and the black on there, whereas this one did not. It had the plain white, which I didn't like as much. I thought this was done a little bit better. But the rest of the figure is very similar, but this construction of his armor, as you can tell, is a little bit different. And this new one has the shiny, like a shiny white feel. I really dig that. That is sweet, even more so than the old Stormtrooper here. So, you know, as you go down the Stormtrooper, you can see that there are subtle differences there in the construction, again, in the leg area and the knee area. Everything's a little bit different with these new ones, but I'm really liking them. There are things about the old one I like better, and there are things about the new one I like better. Just take your pick, I guess, right? His blaster right here, if you can see that, you know, that's pretty good detailed there, but there's no wash, there's no extra paint detail on that gun. Whereas you take the new blaster, man, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Some black and white paint, you got some silver paint there at the top, you got all kinds of sporadic paint going on. So very sweet differences there, and subtle differences, but very you know, necessary differences, I think, for these new Stormtroopers that belong to Kylo Ren here. Now the articulation is as follows. I'm not going to go through all of it with you. The heads on the Stormtroopers do go back and forth. They have some head pivot. They go all the way around 360. He can look up and down a little bit. He's got some mid thorax movement there, side to side. You can move him, and then you can get ab crunch to the front and to the back. He does spin around 360 as well. There's no waist articulation though. Not right here. You won't get any waist articulation on this Stormtrooper. His arms do move out to the side. They go around 360. He does have elbow rotation and only maybe a 90 degree, not even a 90 degree elbow bend. So that's kind of a bummer that he didn't have that. The wrists right there are on a hinge. They do move like this. There's no roll of the dice motion on those. But I do like this extra little pistol here that he came with. That's pretty cool. And you can attach that to his side. If you take that out of his hand, we'll just go ahead and attach that right over here. We'll show you. Right, as you can see, there's a slit there for it. And you can just attach that right in there. Same goes for the large blaster. You can also do that with his large blaster, or not large blaster, but regular size blaster as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that feature. Very, very nice. Of course, you have the upper thigh or upper leg swivel. You can move these legs around a bit. They do kick out. They do kick forward and back. And you do have some double jointed knee articulation, which is really good. I really like the fact that they did the double jointed knees. And then at the bottom, his feet move up and down with ankle pivot, and he does have the peg holes in the bottom of his feet. Same with this one here. No, obviously they're the same figure. Kylo Ren, he's got a lot going on too. Now this guy is sweet. Look at this mask. It's so detailed nicely. I love the silver paint app through there. I like the fact that you can turn his head, and then the seam kind of follows his head, so he's not looking directly into his cape. As you turn his head, his cape moves with him. So that's very cool. Nice feature they added there. He's got the soft cloth through here. He's got the little bit tougher, plasticky, kind of a rubbery feel going on with this piece here. Down here he's got another rubbery piece for his belt with some nice silver paint app there. Just really all black, as you would expect a Sith, or maybe not a Sith, to be at this point. And his lightsaber is really cool looking too. His hilt looks great. They got some extra little paint app there. As you can see, the yellow on the hilt. Very nice, guys. I'm liking this. This is detachable. You can take this part off as well. So lots of things you can do with Kylo Ren. He does, underneath his cloth area, he does have kind of a rubbery, pliable substance that you can move up and down around a little bit. His articulation is as follows. Oh, and there goes a Stormtrooper. So his articulation is as follows. He can move his head back and forth. He can basically can make him look up or down. Let me show you the back of his helmet too. That was actually pretty cool. Kind of Vader-esque looking. You can see some dents and some stuff in there on that one. Let me move this Stormtrooper out of the way for you. There we go. Now we're going to get a little bit better view of Kylo here. So as you can see, there's some dents there in his helmet. Very Vader-esque looking. That was really cool. I like the fact that you can move that hood up or down on him as well. But his articulation is as follows. He does move his head back and forth 360. He actually does have up and down movement. Not any head pivot to the side. That's pretty much all you're getting there. His arms do move out. They go around 360. His elbows bend and they do have a swivel at the elbow joint, but there's no double jointed elbows here, guys. That's a big bummer for Kylo, in my opinion. But you get down into his hands, and he's got the roll of the dice motion. He doesn't have the hinge, but he has the roll of the dice in both hands. Both hands are open there, so you can place a lightsaber in either one, which is very cool. I like that. And then we got the belt, which is movable a little bit. You can move that around a bit if you'd like. Of course, the cloak is pliable. He does have ab crunch to the front and to the back, and he swivels there at the waist as well. So if you can grab his legs and move his legs around a bit, then you can get that motion going there. As well as, I believe he has a little bit of motion up here on top, swiveling if you'd like. Yeah, he does. He does have both, so that's really cool. His legs do have the upper thigh swivel. He's got his legs do kick forward and backwards. He's got double jointed knees, and he's got ankle pivot with the feet go up and down, and he's got peg holes in the bottom of his feet as well. So everything is very cool on this Kylo Ren figure. Very posable, very pliable. Let's get into the good guys now and show you some of their stats and specs. The Force is strong with this set, and the light side is no exception. So let's go ahead and start on the left and go to the right with this set here. We'll start with Daisy Ridley's character and take a look at Rey here. Now, not one of my favorite figures in the wave, I'll be quite honest. Just didn't like the look for some reason. There's good things and there's bad things about this figure, but there's kind of an overall view of what you're getting with Rey. Not too impressed. I guess I just don't like the way the face looks. It's just a little plain looking to me. I'll go through the articulation and sculpt with you a bit. She's got this pliable hair that comes down here that you can move around a bit, which doesn't make any difference to the figure. I hate this hairstyle. What is this? This is like the new thing? Because it sucks. Anyway, didn't like the head sculpt very much. She does go all the way around 360 with her head. No head pivot and no up and down motion. She does have the arms that kick out or that fly out about this far. Rotation all the way around 360. She does have a single jointed elbow bend. That rotates at the elbow as well, and no double jointed elbow, so you don't quite get a 90-degree bend there. Down under her wrist, she does move as follows. She doesn't have the roll of the dice. I did like the fact that her spear looks really detailed. I like this a lot. However, they scrimped on this part right here because it's a hard plastic piece. If you want to hang it over her shoulder, really tough to do without it causing you a lot of problems, and it just looks kind of hokey. So I don't do that, but I do like the paint apps on this, and I do like the detail on her spear, and she looks great holding it, I guess. So if you want to just leave her doing that, you're good. You got some waist swivel with this one. You got the legs that kick out to the front and the back and to the side. Upper thigh movement as well. Single jointed knee bend on this one. That's all you're going to get with this particular one. She does rotate also at the knee right there. And then you have up and down movement in the feet. Ankle pivot with peg holes in the bottom of the feet. She's a little tough to stand up. However, this time she's going to do it for me. No problems. Nice. I'm not too impressed, but what I am impressed with is what she came with, and this is BB-8. BB-8 is the new Star Wars droid, and he looks great, guys. I mean, I would have bought this figure alone in the Black Series and paid the $20 just for this figure, and I'm not telling Hasbro to release him alone and make me pay $20 again, but this is awesome. This guy looks great. The sculpt is awesome. Look at the paint detail, and then this one had a little paint defect actually in it, but everything else is perfect on BB-8 here. I love the fact that they gave him some dirty look right here, like just in the movie, like when you see him in the movie. Love it. There's some extra little spots on him too that look like that. The paint app on the face looks fantastic as well. His articulation is as follows. He does go all the way around like this, 360. You can move him back, forward, to the side. He does have a little bit of a head pivot as well, up and down to the side, and you can turn his head 360. So many options with BB-8, and I like the fact that with this figure, you don't just sit him there and he falls over. If you hit him, he'll just kind of come back to where he needs to be on his own, which is really cool. That's awesome that they weighted this figure so that he can do that. Like I said, fantastic. Very impressed with BB-8. Now, Chewbacca is just kind of a redo from the other Chewbacca. And what I mean by that is they just have a new head sculpt. Pretty much everything else is the same except for this part right here is a little different, along with his satchel is different. I actually do like the satchel on this new one better than the other one, and I'll show you that just in a moment here. But yeah, everything, it's very simple. The crossbow doesn't have any wash on it. There's no extra features. It's just a black crossbow. That's all you're getting with this Chewbacca. All the articulation is the same as the old Chewbacca from the Black Series. Let's go ahead and bring him in and give you a little comparison there. There's the face differences right there that you're going to get. Also, the color scheme's a little bit different as well. But otherwise, you're really just getting the same figure. This older Chewbacca I did like more because of the wash on the gun. As you can see there, it looks a lot better. The satchel I wasn't too impressed with, but the other one looks a little bit cleaner. And then this part here was a little different from the new Chewbacca. As you can see, this one looks like it might be a hair wider, and that silver paint is a little bit wider too that they put on there. So there's your differences between your Chewbacca's. You don't have, everything else is pretty much sculpted exactly the same. So yeah, Chewbacca looks good. I like the new head sculpt a little bit, but I kind of prefer the old one a little better actually to the new one. But I'm going to put this one with the old Han Solo they release hopefully pretty soon in the Black Series. Now let's get into Boyega's character. Now this is Finn. And I gave him a blue lightsaber. He does not come with this. This is the blue lightsaber from the Luke Skywalker X-Wing Black Series, and it looks pretty good in his hand, so I'm going to give him this for now. Didn't like his gun too much, but his head does go all the way around 360. He does have a lot of head pivot to the side, up and down motion as well. You can replace this head with one of the new Stormtroopers if you'd like, and it looks actually pretty good on there, so that's an option you have. I do like the paint scheme on his coat. Everything looks really good there. The red, the silver underneath that red looks excellent. There's a little silver part right here as well, if you can see that. And I just love it. This figure looks great. I did like the way this one came out. Down into his articulation, he does rotate at the waist as well, right there. His arms do fly out and they do rotate 360. He has a single jointed elbow bend that rotates at the elbow. And this is cool because he has the roll of the dice and he has a wrist hinge. He can do both. So he can hold the blaster, he can hold a lightsaber in certain ways, and it just looks really good the way he can articulate with his hands. So that's a good feature they put on him there. His legs do kick out to the front and to the back. They kick out to the side. He's got double jointed knees. He's got up and down feet with ankle pivot as well. And I believe his knees rotate. No, they don't. They don't rotate at the knee. But he does have the upper thigh swivel as well. So you get quite a bit of good articulation here with Finn. And I love the paint detail they did on his pants there, looking like it's a dusty atmosphere. And his shoes look very nice as well. So very, very good looking figure. I'm very impressed with this one, with BB-8, of course. Those are the two main ones that I liked here the most. And I think you'll like it the most as well once you get your Black Series figures and get them opened up. So let's take a look at Finn's weapon here. Now, his gun is not very good looking, I'm going to be honest right now. A lot of detail went into this gun, I can see that, but I don't like the paint app very much. They did put a wash on it as well, so I guess they went the extra mile a bit with this gun, but there's some bleed right here. You can see this black, and it kind of bleeds into the silver, which I wasn't fond of, and it just doesn't look like a very nice looking gun. Plus it has a little bend to it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bend in it that doesn't look the best either. So wasn't too impressed. But as a whole, I like this new set of good guys. I do like the bad guys quite a bit more, but BB-8 and Finn really do it for me in this one, and I can't wait for Wave 2. So we're going to get to the next part for you here now. And now we bring you the final individual and overall grading scores for this Star Wars Force Awakens Wave 1. Starting with appearance, this set looks great. Let's go ahead and give them a 7 in appearance. Right on into articulation. They're going to get a 7 in articulation. There's nothing really different. There's nothing really that's out of place here. It's all standard for the Black Series so far, so they're going to get the 7 there. And to durability, the set is nice and durable. I must say, there's really nothing that feels that weak and that frail on this set. I think that the set is solid. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 in durability. And then into collectability. Now this is the very first wave of Episode 7. Guys, this has to be a high grade in this. I'm going to give it a 9 in collectability. I believe that everyone that owns Star Wars things should own this set because it is the first set in a wave of many movies to come. So collectability does get the 9, which gives them an overall score of 7.75. Incredible set. I would liken the excitement on a childhood scale where angry is at the bottom and toy coma is at the top to about a mild seizure status here. Not every figure is perfect, but there's so much wow factor in the two main villains offered, and having BB-8 as an extra with Rey is icing on the cantina cake. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give a brief follow on Instagram, subscribe to our channel, and check out our eBay store at G1 Toys 2015, where you can find your Force Friday remnants. The G1 lesson of the day tells us if Sheldon Cooper were present, this channel would be much more popular. Remember, when you're feeling indifferent or just need a toy fix, navigate your mouse droid to us and channel your inner toy.
We are gathered together this fine day to test our Star Wars knowledge and to show off for the ladies. I, Vader, will be your host today and will start us off with our first question for Sir Kylo Ren and my son, Luke Skywalker. In Episode 7, The Force Awakens, who is Luke Skywalker's son? I am. That is most likely correct. Search your feelings, Luke. You know it to be true. Next question. This is for the new Nazi regime First Order Stormtrooper and the unskilled marksman Stormtrooper from the 1970s. Hey, there were budget cuts in my day. The question is, aren't you a little short for a Stormtrooper? Yes, First Order Stormtrooper. The answer is that we have evolved by use of modified genomics, and so the possibility of dwarfism is non-existent now. Anyone shorter than 2 meters and black would surely be an imposter. Correct. Man, that's some straight up BS right there. And whose bright idea is it to pit me against this Wookiee when we all know what happens to a brother's arms when they don't win? To be fair, we will allow Han Solo to interpret the mighty Chewbacca's answer. Oh, sure, get a whiteboard to interpret. Sheet! And the question is, how fast can the Millennium Falcon actually go?
Well, being that a parsec is a measure of distance and not time, we won't use Han Solo's Kessel analogy and just say 4,401 light years per hour.
Also correct.
You can't ask a question the interpreter already know.
For your lack of distinguishable English and your speaking out of turn, you are being disqualified, Finn.
Oh, it's on. You ain't getting away with this, Vader.
Hey, Finn. Shut your face.
You better watch your back, Kylo. You best believe that.
Now, maybe we can continue. Thank you, grandson.
Hey!
Our next question is for our soon-to-be mother-daughter combo. That's one meal I'd like to supersize. Your question will consist of a choose the best answer option, and your question is Jakku A planet where an epic battle occurred sometime after Return of the Jedi between the Empire and the Rebellion, or B, a subliminal way for Disney to say they are going to jack you with Star Wars merchandising?
Well, B makes more sense. Yeah, I choose B.
That is incorrect. Looks like your mother's naivety has worn off on you. Stupid.